Okay, I think I got the final video here. One thing that you'll notice in here, there's going to be a part where I say, okay, hey, let's say it together. 2 Timothy 2:22. One of the pieces of feedback that I got from you guys is that some of the videos I mentioned that, some of it just barely. And I feel like I need to go back and add 2 Timothy 2:22 to each video, each message, since that is kind of like the anchor text for the whole book. I really want it to be something that is ingrained in the guys' heads by the time we're done. And if they can memorize that and the 5 verses that one each week, then they'll have 6 verses memorized on this topic by the end of the Run Club. So I think that's a big win. Okay, so I'm going to go through this. The other thing I mentioned, or I'm going to do, is go back and really make sure these messages are tailored toward men. There's been kind of a question mark in my mind, like, would these videos work for women's groups? Would they work for students? And I've just decided on this first run, I'm going to really lean in heavy on this is for men. And then I have some ideas in the future with how I can tailor the content. Same book, same discussion questions, but a different video, maybe with me and Jen, and be able to do it more geared toward women and students. So this is specifically toward men. Okay, so this is the 6th video. This is chapter 5. This will be for the final meeting of the Run Club. Here we go. Well, hey, welcome to the final week of the Run Club. What a journey it's been. We've learned strategies, we've heard stories, and hopefully some of you have begun to share your stories, even just the beginning. We've discussed tigers, we've been equipped with tools, you've assembled a tribe, and now today is about trajectory. The decisions you make from this point forward, the people you surround yourself with, and the honesty you live in will set the trajectory for the rest of your life. And even though this may be your final Run Club meeting for now, this isn't the finish line. In fact, in many ways, it's the starting line. Now, you guys know the drill. Let's say it together. 2 Timothy 2:22. Flee also youthful lusts, but pursue righteousness, faith, love, and peace with those who call on the Lord from a pure heart. Now, I know I wrote the book called Run, but I'll admit that I haven't always liked running. In fact, as I discussed in the book, I started running out of necessity for my sanity. And just like many people who pick up running, I started way too fast and way too hard. And so I just wanted to quit right away. And once I learned to pace myself, it changed the game. In fact, running became something I could enjoy and even benefit from. In fact, I mentioned the ultra marathoner in my book, 55-year-old Hilda Dazan, and she explained you have to be patient in the beginning. Don't expect miracles in a short time. Now, I'm a pastor. I'm all about expecting miracles, but it's also important to be realistic with yourself. Here's our 2 thoughts for today. Number 1, make running your new normal. Now, whether or not you get into physical running, running is part of following Jesus. It's what we do. Hebrews 12 says to run with endurance the race that is set before us. Now, obviously, we're not racing against each other. We're running alongside each other. Same race, same finish line. Now, sometimes we're pulling someone else along. Other times we're allowing someone who's further ahead of us, their faster pace, to push us forward a little bit. But either way, we're in this together and we're runners. It's what we do. Our running coach is the Apostle Paul, and our training plan is 2 Timothy 2:22. 2 Timothy 2:22. We're running from temptation, we're running to a life of righteousness, and we're running with others with the same heart and mind. So why is running our new normal? Well, because God's will for our lives is sanctification, sexual purity. 1 Thessalonians 4:3 says it. Running isn't something we did just for 5 weeks that one time when we were in a run club. It's now a way of life that we've adopted. We don't look at that stuff anymore. We don't talk like that anymore. We don't allow our minds to drift to that place anymore. That's who we used to be. That's what we used to do. We've replaced those things with new godly habits. We have a tribe of people that understand now. And we refuse to try to do this alone because we're not alone. We belong to a tribe who's running after Jesus. So make running your new normal, but remember the pace. Run at the pace of grace. Now, normally if you use the phrase, you say that someone wrote the book on it, the implication is that that person is the go-to guru on that topic. Well, I literally wrote the book on resisting sexual sin, but that doesn't mean I have it all figured out. In fact, I'm committing to keep my guard up and fight for the rest of my life, just like I'm asking and encouraging you to keep your guard up and keep fighting. I'm not going to allow the devil to unravel my life and destroy my legacy. Now, obviously, we're all on different legs of this journey. Some of you feel empowered and strong. Others of you still feel weak. But let's remember to give ourselves and others a whole lot of grace, just like God would do with us. And here's the thing, if God commands us to do something, he's empowered us to do it. And since sexual purity is commanded by God, we can be sure he has given us everything we need to make it a reality in our lives. So just like a race, you can't only stay focused on the finish line, you have to focus on the lap or the leg you're on right now. Just finish this one. Just get through today. Just fight this temptation. And remember, we're just getting started on this journey of sexual purity. Pace yourself. Be honest with yourself. Be gracious with yourself. If you fall down, don't stay down and don't give up. Get back up, confess it to God and others, and keep running. It's what we do. It's our new normal. Your pace is God's grace, and he's a lot more gentle on us than we are on ourselves. You know, years ago, when I was in sexual addiction counseling, I was required to attend a men's group. One of the requirements of the group was to make a phone call to someone else in that group every single day. And I got to admit, I didn't want to do it. Now, the rule was the phone call didn't have to be long, but what we had to do was check in every single day with how we're feeling and what we're facing. And here's the wisdom. The rationale was this. If I get into the habit of calling someone every day, the likelihood of me reaching out when temptation hits is much higher. If I only call someone when temptation hits, I'll be more tempted to try to fight it on my own. And that's exactly where we get into trouble. Proverbs 18:1 says that the man who isolates himself seeks his own desire and rages against wise judgment. On our own, we make selfish, stupid decisions. That's how many of us got ourselves in trouble. We were isolated. So don't forget, your healing isn't only about you. Other people in your life need the tools that you've learned, and they need a tribe. They need people to run with them. They also need hope. They need to know that healing and sexual integrity are possible. So don't let this run club be your final one. Think of a few people in your life that you can invite in and maybe start your own run club. Hopefully this club has begun to change the trajectory of your own life, and now you can help change the trajectory of someone else's. Here's our verse for this week. 1 Thessalonians 4:3 says, "This is the will of God, your sanctification, that you should abstain from sexual immorality." Since God commanded it, it's possible. Our families, our friends, and our future need us to be the healthy man of God, walking in his will. Let's get to it.